Most recent thing that I think I was afraid to mention or talk about is that I don't really like nasi lemak. I went through a really painful breakup this year, and it was really hard to go on and keep producing content.
Hey!
Hi.
Hi! Welcome to another episode of In the Spotlight. So in the Spotlight is actually a podcast or a platform that I've created recently. And a lot of my friends are actually content creators. So I showcase my friends and I learn from them what they do. And I get to learn more about them basically. So yeah, that's why I really like to do this. And moving forward, I hope to get more of my friends to come in. And today, we have Andrew Taylor from US.
Today I'm going to showcase Chinese Malaysian cuisine and other Malaysian cuisines too, and explain why they confuse me so much. Sound interesting? Stay tuned. Well, today I have a rather somber topic to talk about. What happens if you die outside your home country? It can be scary and you should be prepared. Sound interesting? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Taylor. I'm a Florida boy, born and raised there. I love Florida. Hi everybody, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia, and I like to share my life and travels with you. That's how I always start my videos.
I love that because it really reminds me, like every time I watch your video, it's like an anchor point.
I think people find it comforting to have it the same. I've asked people because I've thought, oh, maybe I should mix it up, change it, and people like that consistency, and they like to see it, the same. It's just like I say, it's like comforting to them.
Yeah, exactly. I find it really comforting as well. To me, your voice is really unique. So that's why it really keeps us drawn in, whenever we watch your video. So I would be like,
thank you.
Even if I'm not watching, like visually, I would just put it on my car and I'll be driving. And I can see like visually in my mind.
A lot of my viewers say my voice is very relaxing.
It is. It is. It's crazy. So I remember I went through your YouTube channel and I go all the way down. It was like just some random stuff. So how did you get started?
It was just pure boredom on my part. I had moved to KL. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't know what I was doing. So I thought, well, I'll just start a YouTube channel. What could hurt? I thought it would take, years to get going, but it didn't. And that was sort of shocking, but rewarding, because I don't know if I would have hung with it for a long time, like people have to do sometimes, like for over a year to get monetized or anything, But mine took off, so.
Yeah, because I remember when I was first looking at your content, the first one was like in a cruise. I was like, oh, wow, that is very amazing. It's like it's just a simple cruise video where you're watching some performance.
What was interesting is that it did become fairly successful very quickly. And then I was desperate for content, and like everyone would be, because you need to get more stuff out there. And so I just went through my old pictures of vacations and made it like I had just gone on those vacations, even though it was like 3 years ago or something. But the information was timeless, and it didn't matter that it was old, and it helped me fill in some slots.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, I feel the same. I have a lot of like college videos where I just bring it back in, and then it's really a lot easier, like all these softwares that makes it seamless for us to just edit the old videos and put it up. And it's timeless. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Like you say. So is there anything that like inspired you to start and then continue doing it?
Well, I don't think I knew what niche I was going to be in, really, except, like you said, the first one I did was about a cruise. But then I think like the second or third was about retiring to Malaysia. And those were the ones that took off, so I knew that was where I had to focus, and that it's been great. I can get off track from that now because I have a following that is interested in just my life and stuff, but And it's impossible to talk about retirement every video.
True. I mean, there's actually there's a lot of topics that we can talk about when it comes to retirement. But I mean, it would be nice for people to get to know more about you when you talk about like all the different aspects of things, right?
Yeah, it's just the difference of living in KL, because I was in Penang for 7 years and then moved to KL.
Maybe you can tell our audience, how did we meet?
Well, I got an email from Raymond. He had discovered my channel somehow, and I got a couple of other YouTubers that found me right away and contacted me. And it was so nice, and it gave me such encouragement to have, I mean, someone like you with so many subscribers that would be interested in little old me. And then what was funny is it turned out we lived like 1 block from each other.
Yeah, I know.
So, and in KL, that's like really weird, you know, because normally you could meet somebody and they live like 45 minutes away, but you know, we just practically live across the street from each other. So we got together and we've been really good friends ever since.
Yeah. So to me, from my end, what happened was I was like going through like different videos, and then one of my friends told me that, hey, have you seen this guy? I always seen him around your neighborhood. I'm like, oh, I'm interested. Let me go see. Oh, that I like immediately I'm hooked. Maybe because of your voice that is like really calming, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen someone talk about my neighborhood in such like passion and I remember you were talking. There are some videos you were talking about some very nice mansions. Oh, and there are some videos that you also talk about some house that were abandoned and they became like ghost house. So I'm like, wow, it's like a totally different energy. So I really I'm drawn in to try to get to know you, and then I try to look at like all the different sources where I can talk to you. And during that time, you were not very active on Instagram, and
I'm still not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean now you at least you will check your inbox or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. At first, I don't know. I had set up I made a special email for my channel, and I had set it up incorrectly. So I thought I was checking it, and I thought, no, I'm not getting any email. And it went like 2 months. And I'm like, why is no one emailing me? Somebody surely must have. And then a friend of mine looked at it and said, you're not even signed in to your email account. So I got signed in, and I had this avalanche of emails. Yeah. And I had to go through and write everybody and apologize that I hadn't gotten back to them and stuff, you know. But now I'm pretty on top of those. I get a fair number of emails, but I try to respond to all of them.
Yeah. Then I feel really lucky to be like among all the emails that you get, you saw mine. So
You're famous.
Oh no, don't say that. So I'm like, wow, you saw my email, and then we connected and went out. Yeah, I still remember you were talking about like the fluffiest roti canai. Yeah.
Which is just up the street. Yeah.
It's just outside our house.
Well, I was always just searching for content. And it's funny because a lot of my viewers who come to visit KL, and then they try to sort of see where I was filming and the places I was filming, and and a couple of them have said, oh my God, it's all just within 1 kilometer of your house. I said, yeah, I'm not actually just going all over KL doing filming. You know, I'm keeping it close to home because it's easy for me.
Yeah. And you go around in your, like, is that like a scooter?
A Vespa, Vespa.
A Vespa, yeah. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's sort of different for someone my age, I guess. And that's still going fine. I don't feel any need to get rid of my Vespa. I certainly don't want to drive here. It's so much easier to get around on the bike.
True. Yeah, around on the bike is a lot easier. So that's why when you're on a Vespa, it's very easy. I mean, you would definitely film something that is around the area, because Vespa, you wouldn't like go to, like, for example, all the way to Subang.
Well, I wouldn't know how to get there for one thing, but I mean, I would like to do more,
Somewhere
but
a bit further.
I don't know how to get there. And I don't like to take my motorcycle on the
Too far.
on the highways. I only went once on that road that goes straight from here to KLCC, and I didn't like it. I thought the traffic was going too fast. So.
Yeah. So usually when you are to travel a bit further, you use Grab, is it?
Yeah. Like when I filmed at Publica, I took Grab there. Yeah. And I did Damansara Heights. Someone actually drove me there. But it's funny, there's still plenty of stuff nearby. I mean, when I found out about UK Heights, which is just right behind where I live, and it is the most charming neighborhood, and I got a really good video out of that. And I only found it because some friends of mine were staying there.
Yes. You guys, for your information, is actually quite near here as well. It's located at the back. It's like a mountainous area where there's a lot of very cozy old houses.
But very posh.
Yeah, very posh. Yeah. It's old and posh.
Yeah.
Whatever that you're doing right now, is it something that you have always been very passionate about? Like all this technology and all this like video, you know?
Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people would be surprised that someone my age, I'll be 70 in March, I'm fairly good with technology. But I think
Very, very good.
well, it's because I worked in an office as an office manager for 10 years from 1990 to 2000. So that was like computers were going crazy then. And I learned a lot. My employer sent me to a lot of computer training classes and stuff. And so that really helped. And then we did newsletters. And so I was just used to working on a computer and manipulating stuff. So, and frankly, the software is so easy now. You know, I started with iMovie, but I quickly switched to CapCut, which is, I think, a little bit easier.
Yeah. So that's why, because I notice a lot of people who are above, like even above 50, they find it very hard to like cope with things like technology, because for the past few decades, things has been moving so fast. Like I personally have seen tapes. Have you guys seen tapes? You know, cassette tapes, and then I've seen it change to CD and DVD, Blu-ray, and you know,
Yeah.
and you have even seen more than like even before tapes, you know. So
Yeah. I don't know. I try to keep up, but I find that anytime I don't know how to do something, I can just Google it, and
Google
there'll be
it.
a YouTube video about how to do it. You know.
exactly.
And that makes it so easy. I don't know. I mean, I've learned a lot though, and now I get sort of critical when I watch other people's videos, and I'll say, "Why aren't you cutting this? Why is this part so long? Nobody wants to see you walk down this entire hallway." You know.
Exactly. So you, when you are cutting your videos, you even know the psychology behind the people who are watching your videos. Like what do you think they would like? What do you think they don't like?
I don't think I actually think about that, but it's just what feels right to me, and I like to keep things moving. I have very, very little dead air on my videos. I
yes.
talk almost from start to finish. Occasionally I'll do a photo montage with music, but yeah, I try to keep it moving, and I think that's important because people get bored so easily now.
Yeah, like exactly. If you pause like too long, you know, people.
I mean, when I'm editing,
Yeah.
I was just doing some editing from an interview yesterday, and I have to take out all their uhs and ahs, and you know, and it's people can't tell you've done it, and it's seamless, and it just makes it seem so much more professional to have people not saying all the time. You know?
Exactly. I find that the same as well. What about some challenges that you have faced along the way, like especially when you were starting up, like challenges of video editing and all those things, and what about your fans? You can tell us a bit of challenges that you face when doing content creation.
Well, it's interesting. I'll start talking about I prefer to call them viewers than fans, although sometimes they term themselves as fans. But interestingly enough, when I first got started, I got a fair amount of hate. And that I'm a very sensitive person, and it's really easy to hurt my feelings.
Who would
And
hate you?
I don't know, but I mean, I got a fair amount of hate. And it was interesting because after I reached a certain point, it just sort of stopped. I mean, I virtually get no hate anymore. You know, I think when people see you're successful, they don't bother with you anymore. You know, but
When you're starting out, it's
yeah, they pick on you when you're new, I think. But so I'm good with that. I mean, occasionally still somebody says something mean, but I really keep on top of the comments on my channel. And, you know, it's just really simple to delete a negative comment. You know, and I sometimes leave some in. I think, but now I'm more often than not, I'll just go, that's not very nice, and I'll just delete it. You know, that's.
yeah. But sometimes when we don't delete our comments, like let's say if it's a hate comment, our fans or our viewers would sometimes just come in and help us and defend us. It happens a
Exactly,
lot.
they will. But I just sometimes just prefer to just, like, if people make overly political comments, or, you know, I just get rid of those. You know, certainly about anything about Malaysian government. You know, that's. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, a lot of Malaysians, when it comes to like all this government stuff, they are very vocal about it. So they just go into comment section and they try to stir things up.
Well, I think that Malaysians are very vocal, but I have found that so many people don't want to go on camera and say stuff. That's, you know, I was trying to find a insurance agent to interview, and I had 2 back out. The third one I thought was all lined up, and then her company said no, she couldn't be on camera.
What?
And I get a lot of that. I just met a realtor recently who I thought, oh great, I'll interview this realtor. He said, oh well, my company's going to be worried about what I say, and you know, and I just don't get that. I don't think that people in other countries maybe are that worried about that sort of thing, but here definitely they're just like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a very Asian thing as well. Like to first of all appear on the camera. Asian are generally like more shy, you know, like. And then there are also some people who are afraid of getting in trouble because you know, like, especially Asian parents is like no, like everything no, you know, don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are worried that they're gonna say something controversial.
And then, like I said, with the challenges of the technology when I started, you just get better as you go along. You get better editing, you get smoother transitions, you learn how to do it so it, you know, a lot of people think when they see my videos that I'm just sitting there and talking for 20 minutes, and they don't realize that almost every sentence is a separate cut, you know. So because I don't, and plus I make mistakes all the time, and sometimes it takes me 5 takes to say one sentence correctly without stumbling over words or something, you know. But and so I think it's interesting when people do bloopers and stuff from there. I never have done that. Well, for one thing, I sometimes say bad words.
Oh, and that's bad for YouTube. You know,
Yes.
YouTube nowadays they can like just detect, but they're not so harsh with some bad words. They are quite okay.
No, I've seen you know, you hear bad words all the time, but I try to keep them out of my videos.
Family friendly.
Yes.
Is there any like viral moment, like kind of like a turning point video that makes you like even more interested in continue to do this?
Well, interestingly, and I'm sure you go through this too, but you have your ups and downs. You feel like, oh, is this even worth it? What am I doing? I'm not inspired. I can't think of anything. But then things happen, like you contacting me, my friend CK, another Malaysian YouTuber, he contacted me and interviewed me. And then recently, I'm sure most people have seen, I was just interviewed by Max Chernoff, who is a huge Singaporean YouTuber.
Yes.
And that video is just a little over a week, and it's gotten over 200,000 views.
Yes, he's very famous.
So-
I watch him too.
So I've gotten a lot of new subscribers from that. I would think more than I've gotten I would prefer it was more than I've gotten, because out of 200,000 views, you would think I'd get more than like 1,000 new subscribers, but I'll take 1,000 new subscribers too. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But it is also the call to action. So if let's say if there's a very strong call to action in the front of the video, it may entice people to subscribe.
I know you've always gotten after me about that, and
Yeah.
I'm very bad about it because I like to low play it and
Please subscribe.
please subscribe. Yeah, no, but I see people doing that too much, and I think that people know that they should subscribe, so I just have it once at the end. Yeah, maybe I should do it. I have noticed, like when I talk about about to hit a milestone, like 15,000
Then you celebrate.
subscribers, and then that sort of just mentioning it boosts the subscribers. You know, you're right. You know, just
Yeah.
talking about it. So, but I've also just I'm not like I don't want it to be a full-time job, and it's basically I've gotten so much better at it, and it doesn't take as much of my time, but it still probably takes about 15 to 20 hours a week to do one video between planning, shooting, and editing. You know, it's just, but at first it was taking me 30 or 40 hours. So, so now it's way better.
Yeah, way better. I still remember when I first learned about video editing and all those things. I started editing my videos in 2016. So I actually sat down and I was asking all the different YouTubers, you know, my friends, to come over and teach me how to do it. Because back in those days, there are not that many videos on YouTube about all this, how to edit, how to do this kind of thing. So there are not that many. So my friends would just come here and they would just show me, how to do it. So those days, for me to create one video, it takes like a week because it's so difficult. Now, it takes like half an hour.
Well, and I do all my editing on my phone.
Yeah.
This is everything for me, and I'm just sitting there on the sofa editing. I have the TV on. You know, it's not that hard for me now. Although when I do interviews, it's sometimes hard to find a appropriate place to cut. People sometimes talk too long, and I try to tell them to keep things short, but because sometimes they just go on and on and on. You think, oh my God, where am I going to cut this? You know?
Exactly.
So, but that's, yeah, I'm getting better at that too.
But sometimes we may not know when we cut out something that's important, you know, because...
Well, I think I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And the people that I interview, once they see it, they don't act. They never say, "Oh, you cut out something very important." They don't even notice.
Yeah, they won't even notice.
It just looks good to them, and they're like, "Oh, wow!
That's good.
You made me look good." Yeah.
True. Since you are already doing this, do you see yourself doing this for some income and for some sponsorship kind of thing? Maybe you can.
Yes,
discuss.
I would. I mean, I've had a couple of sponsors. I say no all the time. If I don't think whatever the sponsor is promoting has any application to the people who watch my channel, I don't.
Yes,
You know,
that's very
I'm not
important.
going to advertise a rice cooker. You know, even though I do sometimes cooking on my channel, but no, and I don't want someone else to be telling me what I have to do, and so I just try to do it as simple as possible, and otherwise it's going to become too much like a job. And
Yeah.
I am retired. I don't want it to be
like a job, you know.
And in fact, I was thinking of taking a few weeks off for Christmas this year, but then this video came out with Max, and it's gotten so many views. I'm like, I can't take time off now. So Yeah, it's never seems like the right time, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's an obligation to a certain extent to my viewers that they expect me to have a video every week, and if I don't, they notice. You know.
Yeah, they notice. Not even they would notice directly, but even the YouTube algorithm would kind of like notice as well. So one video a week, I think it would be a lot healthier. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm always thinking of what I'm going to do, and I have a whole list in my phone of ideas, and then each week. Well, I was just thinking before I came over here, what am I going to do next week? And I don't know yet. I'm editing this week's now, which is an interview. But next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think it's going to have to be something holiday related because we're getting so close to Christmas. And then I'm going to Penang next weekend, and I think I can get a video out of that. Some friends of mine are just moving here from the U.S., and they got a big fancy house, and I'm hoping to be able to film it.
Oh yeah, I think that would be very interesting because like usually at the end of the year, people would be thinking of a holiday, of getting out of their house, doing things. You know, recently I've been seeing a lot of videos of winter because I love winter. So the algorithm would kind of bring all these winter videos to me. So I like to watch videos that are people making camps in the winter, and then they're eating like inside or outside their camp. Yeah, so it makes me feel hungry and like cozy kind of feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's easy to make people hungry here.
Yeah. True. Do you have like any so since you are doing so many things right now, do you feel like there's a time where you have a burnout?
I do get burned out. Another thing that people don't really talk about, but you notice it here and there, if you follow certain YouTubers, you're bound to come across something in their life that has gone wrong or has upset them, but they don't really talk about it out in the open. Like, I went through a really painful breakup this year, and it was really hard to go on and keep producing content. But I did, and I didn't miss a week. And it's funny because I've seen other people talk about it too, and I didn't really talk about it much, but I have talked about it since then. And I saw there's this one guy I watched that he does a design show. He's Canadian, and I don't know, his furniture changed in the room, and he didn't really mention it. And then months later, he said, I don't know, you guys probably don't know this, but my partner and I broke up earlier in the year, you know, and that's why the furniture is different. But he didn't come right out and say it at the beginning. So I think people do follow you for you and for interesting things in your life. I think probably I could talk about more personal things than I do. But I try to keep mine more information oriented.
Yeah. So wow. For some of the new content creators who are also thinking of doing this, especially for you, your demographic would be people from the US or people who want to retire. If they want to do this too, is there any advice? Maybe you can give us like 3 advice that you can give to them.
Well, I'd say you have to have a topic that you're at least interested in and that will interest other people. You said a lot of my viewers are from the US, and more of them are all the time, but it's only about 20%, and about 50% of my viewers are Malaysians. And it just depends on where you're doing your videos, but in Malaysia, you have a built-in audience because Malaysians love to see foreigners say nice things about their country.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's about 50% Malaysians now. But every time I have a big interview like the Max Chernoff interview, I pick up a bunch of more U.S. viewers. Yeah.
I think because it's a cultural thing. Like Malaysians, Filipinos, we are the people that are really we kind of like have this identity. Oh, we are Malaysian. We are proud.
Oh,
even Filipinos are like that. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's so true. Malaysians are fiercely proud of their country. But what I've done too is that I've, at the beginning, I would hardly ever say anything negative about Malaysia. But now I feel like as people have gotten to know me and they like me, they allow me to criticize a little more than, I've done a video not too long ago about things that irritate me here in Malaysia. And I'm going to tell you the things that irritate me about Malaysia today. I wouldn't have done that at first. And now I didn't get any pushback, really. I mean, I've got a little, but mostly people were saying, oh, we agree with you. Those things irritate us too. But until they feel like you're a part of their community, they're not going to accept criticism very well, But once they already like you and they agree with you on other things, they're going to say, oh, yeah, he's right about that.
It is. I watched that video as well, and to me, it was super relatable. I was like, yeah, yes, yes, I agree. I felt that too,
Yeah.
So this kind of thing.
Well, and then the most recent thing that I think I was afraid to mention or talk about is that I don't really like nasi lemak.
No.
And that's like, I don't know. I mean, I expected death threats over that, but I did get a really funny comment last night who said I was going to be arrested soon because of that, but they were just joking. But
yeah.
But, I mean, people understand that I don't like it because there's fishy taste to it, and I don't eat fishy things. So.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, I thought, oh gosh, am I going to get in trouble for saying I don't really like nasi lemak?
I think they understand because you explain like why you didn't like it. It's not just because of the spices, but it's more because of the fishy in the sambal and the fishy taste in the fish, the anchovies,
Yes.
So.
Well, and I had someone, I think yesterday, just send me a comment that was telling me where I could get it that wasn't made with fish paste and where the sambal wasn't fishy and that they left off the ikan bilis, and so I might check that out because I think I'll like it better.
Yeah, and nowadays we have the vegetarian kind of nasi lemak.
Yeah,
as well.
someone said something about that too.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my favorite versions of char kway teow is vegetarian with just tofu in it, and I think that's really good.
Yeah. Otherwise, there would be like clams and prawns.
Well, I don't mind clams and prawns.
Oh,
I mean,
it's just the fish.
I just don't like fish, but I had it once in Penang and the vegetarian char kway teow, and I just really liked it. I wish I could get it more. There's a vegetarian place in my building that seems to have gone out of business, which is
Gone out of business.
well, they've been closed for months.
Wow. Okay.
I
I thought they're still there.
It's still there. Everything's still there on the inside, but there's like a note on the door saying
Yeah, maybe something happened,
someone might have died or something.
Yeah, to the owners.
So it was family run.
Okay, so we have come to the end of our interview today, our podcast. I hope you guys like it, and please subscribe to the both of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
Yeah, and today we have actually used something new, which is this Boya microphone. I think it will sound good. You guys give me the comment how it sounds like, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of In the Spotlight. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.